Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jorge Castillo, Dodgers beat writer with the LA Times, live from Arlington, Texas, a hotel room in Arlington, Texas. And I'm joined by my buddy, our columnist, Dylan Hernandez, who's live from somewhere in Southern California. I'm assuming his home. What's up, Dylan?
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Just enjoying Arlington, you know, getting ready for some fans at this game tomorrow. We're here to preview game one of the NLCS, Dodgers Braves. Not sure if you guys heard it. Dodgers are 8 wins away from the first World Series in 32 years. They are the favorites to win this series to get to the World Series again here at Globe Life Field, home of the Texas Rangers. And standing in their way from their third World Series appearance in 4 years are the Atlanta Braves. Dylan, what do you think about this series?
It reminds me a little bit of a championship boxing match where you have two undefeated fighters coming in, but neither guy has really fought anybody yet, right? And you kind of don't know if the guy's the next Roberto Duran or a complete fraud. And both teams here have, because of the way the regionalization of the regular season schedule, obviously, in terms of strength of schedule, teams across baseball have this problem where they really weren't tested, and then kind of come into the postseason, both teams just kind of rolled over complete pushovers. The Padres, I do think were a good team, but obviously they didn't have the pitching to compete with the Dodgers. That being said, I think when you kind of compare this Dodger team to the one last year, and they've added Mookie Betts, and you can kind of see, okay, yeah, we do think this is kind of a real team here. Obviously, and kind of like how you pointed out in your story in the paper this morning about how, right, without hitting the home run, they were still able to score runs in this, last series and in this kind of cavernous ballpark. Atlanta hasn't done that yet, so I do think that they're more known parts of the Dodgers as opposed to the Braves. But, honestly, we could kind of see anything unfold here.
Yeah, I mean the Braves. The Dodgers led the majors in scoring, and the Braves scored one run fewer. They have a pretty good offense themselves. Freddie Freeman might win MVP. You got Ronald Acuna Jr. You got Travis d'Arnaud, who's coming out of nowhere to be like the next time. He's like Mike Piazza right now with where he's hitting. So they have a very formidable offense. So the Dodgers, as you mentioned, the Dodgers have been playing. They scored 23 runs in that NLDS with just one home run. They have guys up and down the lineup. Guys that haven't really clicked yet. Max Muncy hasn't looked quite right. Jock Peterson had two hits the other day. Cody Bellinger's looking a little better at the plate recently. But the Braves, offensively, they're very formidable. The Braves bullpen, they have a closer. His name's Mark Melancon. He's going to pitch the ninth inning, and that bullpen's really deep. They have a lot of guys. They don't throw very hard, but for whatever reason, they're really effective. They're 5-0 in this postseason. 4 of the 5 wins have been shutouts. Again, against the Miami Marlins and Cincinnati Reds, but still shutouts. And then their starting rotations where you have a couple questions, right? Max Fried, the LA native, Harvard Westlake guy, has been a Cy Young candidate. He was a Cy Young candidate during the regular season. Then you got this rookie named Ian Anderson, who's been, lights out since he came up in late August. But after that, it's like a guy named Kyle Wright in questions. Might be a bullpen game in game 4. Whereas the Dodgers, they got their question in game 1, right? Walker Buehler's going to pitch game 1 again. Can he throw more than 4 innings with that blister? We don't know. But after that, at least you got Clayton Kershaw, you got Julio Urias, you got Tony Gonsolin, you got Dustin May, you got some depth there.
Yeah, and I think when I say kind of like, right, you kind of don't know if they're frauds or whatever. You talk about the Braves bullpen. Yeah, so far it's gone really well, but like you said, it's not a ton of velocity there. And the reality is that the one thing that kind of correlates to success in pitching is velocity, right? As much as I enjoy watching guys try to pitch, I enjoyed watching Zach Davies, the first couple of innings, and then reality kind of hits home, and you do wonder. Especially with the Braves kind of shortage in starting pitching, so to speak, right? They basically have 2 guys. If they're going to have to go to the bullpen a lot, my guess is that the Dodgers are going to get to that.
That's what the Dodgers do best. They get to your bullpen, patient at bats. Meaning that game 1 against the Padres is the best example. They went like 5 innings without a hit. They still had like 8 walks in those 5 innings. Like they were going after. Cleveland leads the game early, and the Padres just ran out of gas because the Dodgers put it to them. They were just great at bats. Another big question coming into the series now is what's up with Kenley Jansen? What is he? What's he going to do now? He's not the closer. Dave Roberts has said he's not the closer without saying he's not the closer. He's going to pitch in some capacity probably, but he's not going to be pitching in the 9th inning in a safe situation. We saw what happened in game 2 of the NLDS against the Padres. He just didn't look good. He almost coughed that game up. And I think the Dodgers are going to play matchups. Blake Trinan, Victor Gonzalez, Pedro Baez, Joe Kelly, Brewster, Gratterall, whoever, to get those final 3 outs.
Yeah, and my guess is that we won't see, right? It seems like they're guys, that Roberts doesn't mind using and guys that he does mind using, right? We haven't seen, Dylan Floro really like in a high leverage type situation. We haven't, and my guess is Jansen's going to kind of be put into that pile. If they find themselves up 5-6 runs in a game, then maybe we'll see Jansen at that point. But yeah, at this point, I just kind of don't see how you can kind of go to Jansen, and that's kind of the silver lining of the last series, to be honest, is that there was going to be no good way to deal with the Kenley Jansen situation. And usually, when a closer kind of loses his job in these circumstances, it comes with like a blown save, right? Which obviously at this time of the year could be pretty devastating. And so in some way, they actually got kind of lucky, right? They were able to kind of take care of that problem without losing a game. And it's starting to, in my kind of weird head, it's starting to kind of take on a team of destiny type of feel where, you know what, they were able to take care of that without anything happening. Those are the types of breaks that you need to win a championship. And, kind of between that and the fact, you talked about the offense too, a guy's not clicking yet. That's where Mookie Betts is so important, right? It's kind of, last year, maybe Muncy's in the middle of the lineup. You're really kind of counting on him to hit. You're counting on Bellinger to hit. When you have a guy like Mookie Betts who produces every single game, almost on call, it does take pressure off those guys. At this point, honestly, if any of those guys hits, Jock Peterson included, it feels like a bonus now because you kind of know that Mookie Betts and Justin Turner and Corey Seager, the combination of them, they're going to find a way to at least push a few runs across the board, and it's just kind of where they're going to get the other runs.
Yeah, it's crazy. Corey Seager is someone you just mentioned we didn't talk about. He's had a great year, and then you got Justin Turner. It's crazy to think that, like, Cody Bellinger contributing at the plate is kind of the bonus. The guy's a reigning MVP, right? So they do have a lot of depth. And as our guy Mike DiGiovanna wrote today, he's going to write for Monday's paper. The last few years we've seen teams without traditional bullpens. We've seen teams cobble innings together, figure things out as they go. That 18 team that Joe Kelly and Mookie Betts were on with the Red Sox, they kind of just figured things out. Craig Kimbrell lost his closer job during the postseason. So we kind of saw that this time around. I mean, it might be a formula that works out for the Dodgers this year. But we'll see. It's going to be all happening here in Arlington, somewhere around me, about a mile away at Globe Life Field, with some fans in the stands. Game 1 of the NLCS will be the first time fans will be in the stands for any baseball game this year. I can't say I'm looking forward to it. But
how about picks? We got to do our picks.
Got to do our picks. I'll go Dodgers in 6. Okay.
Well, Saturday is probably the biggest fight in boxing this year. Vasily Lomachenko is fighting Teofimo Lopez. And so if the series goes 6 games, I cannot watch that fight. So I'm going to go Dodgers in 5.
That's a very Dylan reason for a pick. But good pick. All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Jorge Castillo, Dylan Hernandez. Follow on our coverage every day at LAtimes.com and pick up the paper, too, if you're into that.